They never arrive on ships. They never even make themselves known. The object shot through the sky and entered the atmosphere at terminal velocity, burning just enough to emit a glow, but not enough to die. It struck the surface of the planet like a sledgehammer driven into living bone. The impact fractured stone, split the resin of the surface, and sent vibrations rippling through miles of tunnels across the planet buried beneath the crust. For a moment, Xenomorph Prime was still. It was quiet. It was barren. Then, something moved inside the crater. The Death Angels had arrived. Hello everyone, and welcome to Could the Death Angels Survive Xenomorph Prime? In today's video, the notorious Death Angels, known for their near-invincible nature, unstoppable killing machines that decimate populations and instill death upon whatever world they inhabit, will face off against the hive mind of the Xenomorphs on their own turf. Known for their ability to swarm in hundreds and overwhelm any force they're faced against, with a combination of stealth and cunning striking speed. Here, we determined whether the Death Angels could survive the horrors of Xenomorph Prime. So grab a snack, buckle up, and let's dive right into it. The Xenomorph homeworld is defined not by structure, rather by ecological submission. Every single organism that even still exists does so because the hive allows it to exist. There are no competing apex predators, no civilizations to overthrow, no balance to maintain. They are the apex predator. Their dominance has only increased and infected the world. It is a planetary organism. Queens don't rule in isolation. They function as biological command centers, processing pheromones, vibrations, chemical signatures, and feedback from the environment all simultaneously. Drone and warrior xenomorphs operate without sound, without hesitation, and without fear. The lack of silence isn't due to complete domination, rather it's the law. At first, the Death Angels would thrive. Surface organisms die quickly, anything that scurries, calls, or moves carelessly is eradicated. To the Death Angels, this world feels almost familiar. Hostile, violent, full of easy-to-kill prey that has never encountered a predator that listens better than it thinks. For a brief moment, this place reminds them of Earth. However, it comes to an end underground. The first true encounter happens in a resin-lined tunnel, narrow and low to the ground. A single xenomorph drone moves through the darkness, pressed close to the wall. It is new to this creature. It does not yet understand how the Death Angel hunts, let alone how it got there, nor knows how it reacts or what it even is, but it assumes what has always been true on this planet. Stealth is simply enough. However, it will soon find out that it is not. Despite its biomechanical perfection, the xenomorph is not completely silent. Its claws scrape faintly against hardened resin, its weight shifts, its saliva drips slowly from its inner jaw as it drips onto the floor. The Death Angel stands motionless at the center of the tunnel. Its head tilts slightly, it can hear the dripping. It opens its head plates to listen. The xenomorph is now only feet away. It crawls along the wall, its tail coiling, muscles tightening as it prepares to strike. Its jaws open, revealing the smaller secondary jaw, precise and powerful, built for killing in these confined spaces. Its saliva continues to drip and falls onto the Death Angel's foot. Right as it's about to strike, the Death Angel seizes up, all plates smashing shut. In less than a heartbeat, it whips around 180 degrees, claws tearing through the air with impossible speed. There is no struggle. One strike splits the xenomorph's head in half, tearing it from its body. The corpse collapses instantly, lifeless before it even hits the ground. Acid blood splashes outward, hissing violently as it eats into the Death Angel's armor. The plating holds, but barely. The damage is immediate and painful. The Death Angel shrieks in pain. The sound echoes through the tunnels. Other Death Angels converge on the cry. They stand over the corpse, unaware that the moment has already been recorded by the Hive, not as a failure, rather as information. The Hive has learned. Xenomorph Prime does not respond with rage, it responds with adaptation. The next encounters look similar at first. Xenomorphs die, Death Angels kill efficiently, but something changes. Movements become deliberate. Drones avoid resonant surfaces. Attacks no longer come from predictable angles. Then the sacrifices begin. A Death Angel charges into a wider chamber, drawn by deliberate noise, movement designed to be heard. Two xenomorphs reveal themselves, attacking from opposite sides. The Death Angel reacts instantly, tearing into the first one, ripping it apart in a spray of acid. It barely even notices the burn. The second xenomorph does not retreat, it leaps into the air. The Death Angel kills it mid-air, crushing the body against the wall, and this time the acid pours freely. It seeps into the joints already weakened from previous encounters. The Death Angel roars, thrashing around, but the damage starts setting in. Then a third xenomorph appears, then a fourth, and a fifth, and they just keep coming. They do not attack to kill, rather they attack just to die. One by one, they throw themselves into reach. Each death is intentional, each splash of acid is calculated. The Death Angel kills them all, and with each kill, its armor weakens further, plates crack, movement shows, and the Hive waits. A final xenomorph drops from above, its inner jaw pinching into a softened seam near the neck. Acid floods directly inside. The Death Angel collapses, but not instantly. It screams and thrashes. It fights until its own evolution betrays it. The armor that once made it invincible becomes a cage, trapping corrosive death inside its body. The Hive has confirmed a method to kill these creatures. From that moment on, the Death Angels are no longer invaders, they are specimens. Some of them are isolated, some vanish into collapsing tunnels, others are ambushed and dragged into the depths. Resin stronger than steel hardens around their limbs, pinning them in place while leaving them fully conscious, and a few are taken somewhere else, deeper. The facehugger chambers are not hives, they are wombs. Here, the walls pulse softly. Eggs line the floor in endless rows, leathery but alive, responding to the pheromone signals from the hive. Resin coils around massive shapes embedded in the center of a chamber. Death Angels alive, awake but restrained. Their armor strains against the resin, but it does not break. The material is stronger than steel, built to specifically contain organisms that should not even be containable. The Death Angels hear everything, plates opening and closing, the subtle movement of the eggs opening, the skittering of spider-like limbs, the soft, wet sounds of things crawling towards them. They scream in confusion. They do not understand restraint. They don't understand prey that doesn't flee. Their plates flare open instinctively, trying to listen, trying to locate any threats they can reach. This is when the facehuggers strike. They move with explosive speed, launching upward, wrapping around armored heads, forcing themselves between plates as they clamp down. Tubes drive forward, pressure builds, and the Death Angels thrash violently, their screams echoing through the chamber. Then slowly, they go still. Whether the implantation should work doesn't even matter. The Hive is willing to try. As time passes, something grows inside. When the chamber opens again, what leaves isn't either a xenomorph grown nor a Death Angel alive. The creature that emerges carries the mass and armor of its host, reinforced by biomechanical structure. Its head is plated but also slightly elongated. Its body moves low to the ground on quadrupedal limbs. Sound and vibration guided as usual, but on top of that, the creature can see. Acid blood circulates beneath the armor meant to contain it. It listens and it learns. The Hive does not celebrate this victory as it does not need to. Xenomorph Prime does what it has always done. It has absorbed another threat into its evolutionary record. The Death Angels did not conquer this world. They did not adapt to it. Instead, they were studied and they were used. And finally, they were replaced. There was no final battle, no last stand to be made. Xenomorph Prime does not end threats in a large fashion, rather it was merely the result of the inevitable. The Death Angels never stood a chance, not because they were weak, they're the far opposite, rather because in this world, strength without adaptation is nothing more than raw material, and it's safe to say Xenomorph Prime has never lacked for resources. Well, there you have it, guys. If the Death Angels landed on Xenomorph Prime, they would have success for a time being, but ultimately, intelligence is the key factor. As one of my lines read in the script, the Death Angels listen better than they think. As we see in our own world, intelligence is the most important trait. The Xenomorphs would learn and use their own biology as a weapon. And to add insult to injury, the Death Angels aren't just left to die, they're made into something far worse. What did you guys think of the scenario? Did you like the story I told with this scenario? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and if you like more content like this, then consider subscribing and liking the video. And with that said, that's been today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.